Right, welcome my friends. If you're familiar with Python PIP package, today we're going to be covering Poetry, which is a modern Python packaging and dependency management tool. We're going to be exploring what makes it different. We're going to be using Poetry hands-on with example project right here in this course series. If you're just visiting the Top Universe YouTube channel for the first time, do give this video a like, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you can get updates when we share new video content. Kindly subscribe because it helps the channel grow. All right, so what is poetry? I'm going to be doing some sort of explainer here. So we are discussing poetry. I think I need to really zoom in. So just like I mentioned earlier, poetry is basically a dependency management tool. And here are some of the benefits that gives us here. So poetry automatically resolves dependencies and sub-dependencies, and it can handle version conflicts intelligently. Poetry also creates reproducible builds with log files, which is the poetry.log file. We're going to be seeing that shortly. Poetry also helps create an isolated virtual environment for our project. This is created automatically if we're using Poetry for that specific project. And it also ensures this project isolation by default. It simplifies the process of project packaging and publishing to the package repository. And it also helps out with dependency grouping. It gives us an advanced package management workflow that supports private repositories. It handles complex dependency graphs and can export to requirement.txt easily, just like you have it when you use the pip command. It has a build system integration, making it compatible with other tools like PIP and Conda. It provides a log file, which of course gives us some other set of benefits. So a log file here would ensure consistent installations across environments, and it records the exact version of all dependencies that has been installed, which would of course prevent cases like saying it works on my machine, but it doesn't work on others. So it also helps with script management, just like what we have if you have tried, Node.js before with the package.json. Poetry basically gives us that implementation here to basically have scripts that we can execute with simple commands like poetry run start or poetry run test. So yeah, we also have some performance advantage. For example, it can enable efficient caching of dependencies. It also gives us a couple of modern Python features that we're going to be exploring while covering this simple course. All right, so we'll start off by downloading Python. Yeah, so let's download Python. And of course, this is if you don't have Python installed already on your machine. So I'm assuming you don't have Python, which is why I'm downloading this so we can install again. Yeah, so this download is completed. Let's just click on that so we can pull up the setup. All right, so let's proceed to install. All right, so installation was successful. All right, so if you encounter this error when trying to run Python, all you have to do is verify the version of Python you have installed, which is Python 3.13. How did I get here? I simply have to put in this path under programs Python, and this would basically pull up this page. So you see the version of Python you have installed. The next thing you want to do is to open the run dialog again and basically put in this command sysdm.cpl. This would simply open this dialog where we can basically set some environment information. So we can go to advanced, and right here you see we have environment. So let's click on environment variable. So what I can do is simply try to edit this text. Let's copy that. Let's come down here and let's do the same thing. Paste all of that. Okay. All right, let's close this and let's try that one more time. Okay, so I'm going to say Python version. So now you see we have Python 3.13.1 because we've added the environment variable to the system path. Okay, and now that we have that installed, let's proceed to say pip install poetry. All right, so this would help us install poetry on our machine. All right, so installation has started. Let's wait for this. This will take a while. Although we're installing with a pip, you can also install by following the command we have here using PowerShell, right? I'm on a Windows machine. If you're on a Linux or a Mac operating system, you can basically install using the call command. So if you're a Windows user, you need to use this command, which is a PowerShell command. All right, so let's say you have this installed successfully. the next thing we're going to do is to create a new project. Okay. All right. So let's pull up the terminal to see if Poetry was installed. Indeed, it was installed. So let's see our Poetry version by simply running the command Poetry version. And right here, you see we have Poetry installed. Okay. So let's navigate to our desktop. Let's make a new folder. I am simply going to call this Python Poetry. All right, and now we can go into Python Poetry. Okay, so within the Python Poetry folder, I'm going to create a new project by simply saying Poetry new QR generator. Now we're simply creating a project. All right, so created package QR generator. Let's go into QR generator. All right, so now that we have our new project created for us, the next thing we are going to do is to open this up in VS Code, so we'll see what the structure basically look like before we start adding packages. So now this is our QR generator. So now this is our QR generator. We have our test folder created here, and we can see our pipe.project.toml file, which is used to create more like the package.json in JavaScript and Node. This is basically our package file right here. So you see we have some sections. We have the version, we have the name, we have the description. We're going to have our dependencies show up here. So by the time we install a particular package, it's going to appear in here as a dependency. We'll get to see that shortly. Within the QR generator folder here, we basically have our package where we're going to be writing our code. That is it for now. In the next video, we'll start adding packages, and we'll try to build up a simple QR generator application. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.